The healthiest response to life is joy. Mark Twain.
Okay, Mark Twain. This is not the first time we have had Mark Twain, famous cat lover, as our quote for the week.
I ended it last week with a Mark Twain quote.
You did. And I think I had a Mark Twain quote earlier on in the podcast.
You know what I did is I stumbled upon a website that is all Mark Twain quotes, and it's a gold mine. He said some stuff.
Yes, lots of people do, but he says some particularly poignant. He was a writer.
He wrote a lot of stuff.
He did.
And it's all there for your viewing.
But wait, can you just say the quote again?
The healthiest response to life is joy.
Yeah. I feel like the joy is something that's talked a lot about right now. The whole KonMari method by Marie Kondo's trendy.
Sparking joy.
Yes, like
Sure.
does this thing spark you joy? If not, thank it and say goodbye. And if it does, like keep it around. And I love joy, obviously. It's a good thing.
It does good for your soul, for your body. Doesn't it feel good just to laugh really hard?
Yeah. No, for real. No, and I think joy, I feel like when you're a kid, joyously going through life, it can be easy to kind of lose that as we get older.
Yeah.
And one thing that I love about being in a creative kind of professional world is it's kind of our job to have joyous wonder and have childlike joy while playing in a voice booth or on camera or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be going after a profession where that is not only in the job description, but it feeds your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
I
it
think it is
does.
healthy. I think joy is a healthy reaction to life. I also think sometimes like sadness and other things are healthy reactions.
Well, all those people who have made it super far in years, who've been questioned, what do you do? What do you eat? What do you recommend?
Thin spaghetti.
Yeah, well,
Call back to episode 1.
I'll just seem very happy about what they're doing,
It's
and
very joyous.
yeah, very joyous.
All right, Mark Twain. Coming through again.
Yeah.
Are we going to be hearing more Mark Twain from you in the future, Jacob?
I will mark it if I do.
Wow. Anyway.
Hello!
And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of
Positivity.
This is the podcast where we give you good vibes by the spoonful.
Yeah.
And I am your host, Mary Lou Ryan.
I'm also your host, Jacob Khan.
Yeah, and we're here for more like good, feel-good stuff. We are also not just in your ears on podcast platforms everywhere. We're also a show on YouTube, and quite a few of you have been tuning in to the YouTube show on the Miss Mary Lou channel, which we thank you for that.
Bonus, if you check us out on YouTube, you get to see these faces.
Oh, yeah. That was...
Those were weird. Let's do that again.
Those were weird.
Let's do that one more.
No, we're keeping
No,
it.
you gotta give me a second chance. Give me a mulligan.
No, we're keeping those weird faces. That is what they are going to see.
Fine.
Yeah.
Great YouTube content. Gold. Perfect.
And also, I know a lot of you, I was looking at my analytics the other day. A lot of you listen on Apple Podcasts. And if y'all could leave like a nice review and some like 5 stars if you're inclined.
Or
I know that that's a really good way to help
a review.
Review, to help like spread the word, get more people listening on the positive boat, because I adore the community that we've built around this, and I think it's been helping me.
Yeah, we like to spread
Certainly
the positivity out in the world, but also getting the feedback from y'all.
Yeah.
And feeling that is helpful for us too.
Absolutely. So we love you. Thank you for your continued support.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get going. So, Jacob,
Yes.
what's your tea today?
I probably have drunk this on the podcast before, although I don't really remember. This is Trader Joe's Irish Breakfast. It's a good old classic.
Good old easy peasy in a tea bag kind of classic.
80 seconds to brew. No more. It's going to taste funny.
It's really good for cold brew too because it's really easy.
Yeah, and that you just let it sit and it's great.
I do have episodes on YouTube all about cold brewing tea, including a recipe video involving tea and fresh fruit. Wow. Oh
Plug, plug,
boy.
plug, plug, plug.
Yikes. I'm going for it today, I guess. Yeah, I see you added a little bit of almond milk today.
As is not traditional. Check out that What is Irish Breakfast
Oh
video
my
on
gosh,
Miss Mary
Jacob.
Lou's channel.
Okay, we really need to stop. Oh
No,
my God.
I actually I really really like the taste of Irish breakfast. I've gotten used to it, and it is addictive. Yeah, like scientifically speaking, it is addictive. But I also
Well,
just
it's the higher caffeine content.
the taste of it, the specific taste of that Assam tea blend, just makes me really happy. So
Yeah, well, that's great.
I go for it
Yeah,
from
that's
time to
good.
time. What are you
Go for-
drinking
oh,
today?
Oh man, I'm drinking something really special.
Mm-hmm.
We're drinking different things today. I have this black tea with maple in it from Vancouver.
Ooh, yeah.
From our friend Amanda. She gifted us this when she visited Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so good. I usually, for those of you that don't know, I sweeten my black tea or tea in general with maple syrup because I just think the combination of flavor with undertones in whatever black tea it is just complements
yummy.
it. It's magic.
Yeah.
And this is actual like maple infused tea from Canada. So like winning all the way around.
No sugar needed.
No sugar needed.
Nice.
Mm.
Got that flavor built into the tea.
Just the flavor of Canada. I just love it. I grew up really close to Canada, so Canadians have a special place in my heart.
It's
in
like
general.
Canada in a mug.
Is it? Your mug says New York on it.
Yeah, close enough.
We're both just chilling, relaxing all cool when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. Yeah, that happened. So Jacob,
Yes.
last
Mary.
week you talked about
Not
how
acknowledge it.
yeah, you talked about how you are looking to end your credit card debt by the end of 2019 as your
Yes.
self-care experiment. Update us on that. How's that been going? How you feeling about it? Give us the tea.
So something I love about this self-care idea is that I think I mentioned this last week. It's a goal that's not immediate, but it also does set a deadline that I know is coming up. Like I have, 9 more months to do this. But like this past week, it was a bit of a struggle financially. Rent crept up, and I had some other bills that popped out of nowhere that I wasn't expecting. So like it's been a little bit of a rough week,
A lot of life
I fell
happened
behind
this
a little.
week. Yeah, but you know what?
I got
Ride the
plenty
wave.
of time, and I'm still committed to that goal of getting rid of it by the end
And
of the
putting
year.
just a little bit away every day,
Yeah,
even if it's just a couple of dollars.
yeah.
So it's like daily goal meets long-term goal.
Exactly. So I'm feeling pretty good about that,
That's good.
despite this past week.
Despite this past week.
In
yeah.
spite of this past week.
Mwah.
So Mary.
Yeah.
So last week, you were focusing on not touching your phone until the end of your morning routine.
Yeah.
So how's that been going?
It's been going really great, actually. I am not perfect. There was definitely a morning this week where I didn't have anything really going on that day, and I just rolled over and I was like, screw it. And I just did it, and then I was like, but do I feel better? Do I? And I didn't. I didn't feel like shame or regret. I just was like, was that really worth doing? I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. And I've done
It's literally keeping you
things.
from eating breakfast.
Yeah.
This phone addiction.
I love breakfast.
You should eat breakfast.
Yeah, but other than that one time this week,
Yeah.
again, you just gotta roll with the punches.
That's good.
But it feels so good. I just leave it plugged in on my nightstand. I get up, do the whole thing in brief to summarize, like skin routine, snuggle kitties, prepare breakfast, eat breakfast, then check my dang phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it feels really good, and I'm going to keep it up. Yeah,
Good.
I might have some relapses some days, but that's okay. And also just in general using my phone more purposefully, which I've
Yeah.
also had a little fluctuation with this week, especially when I'm like trying to update people about what's going on with the channel and whatnot, and I try to respond to people's comments on the day that videos launch and stuff like that. So it's the delicate balance and a thing I'm still figuring out, but it feels really good to know that I am way less dependent on my phone.
Get rid of the thumb twitch,
Yeah,
where
no,
it's doing
literally my
like
thumb used to like start hurting.
it just starts twitching like it's scrolling, but you're
Yeah.
not scrolling.
No, yeah, no, I don't have any of that. My
It's
thumb
good.
doesn't hurt anymore, and it's great. I'm still not using my phone at night except as like a tool to play rain sounds or meditation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it feels really fluffin' good. All right.
Nice.
So, Jacob,
Mhm.
this week, what did you do for your self-care experiment? I want to hear.
You do.
I'll do.
I've just been trying to focus more on my diet and eating better and controlling what I'm eating and not just letting myself say, I'm an adult, no one can stop me, and eating all the dessert I want and fried food whenever, and then eating out whenever because also
Eating out's a
money.
big one. Yeah.
So I've been really trying to focus on like if I have dessert, I do one for the day, and like that's it. If I just think I want something later, I have to stop myself and say, well, I already had something really overly decadent and sweet today, so don't. Drink water instead. I'm trying to do that in place of these desires and cravings that I have. I work at a place where bad food is available to me like all the time. I'm been really trying to just not touch any of that.
And I mean, like,
With varied
disclaimer,
success.
like, we do eat a vegan diet
Yeah.
in general. I can't eat gluten anymore, with amongst a whole other crazy list of things, which this week, Brussels sprouts was added to the list. Can't eat those anymore, and
Yeah,
that sucks.
it does.
But, so, like, it's not like we can go out and get fried chicken or something, but
Yeah, but fried anything is bad for you.
yes.
I mean, yes, like the premise of our diet is healthier than the premise of your standard American diet, which is great. But like, if you eat nothing but fried food, and there are some days where I just, for whatever reason, there's just fried food everywhere, and it just feels bad, and I want to try to stop that and be more conscious of stopping that. So.
Cool. And I
So,
mean,
yeah.
like sometimes when you have those cravings, I just think like turning to water, that's a really, really smart idea. Like sometimes I'll be like, am I hungry?
Right.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Why don't I just have a big glass of water, feel it out, and see how my stomach is
Yeah,
doing?
because sometimes your brain is craving things and your stomach's like not necessarily telling you no. And you're like, okay, sure.
And then you eat it and you're like, I'm way too full.
Way too full.
Why
Didn't
did I
need
eat?
that.
I guess I wasn't hungry.
Yeah,
Yeah, glass of water.
definitely. Totally.
Be healthy and eat what makes your body feel good.
Yeah.
In my case, that does not include Brussels sprouts. Anyway.
So, no more Brussels sprouts. But what have you
I
been
love
doing
them
this
though.
week?
If you like Brussels sprouts, eat them for me.
Apart from avoiding Brussels sprouts, what have you been doing this week?
Yeah, so my self-care experiment, in summation, I wrote it as don't quote unquote save clothes, wear them. So I
Yeah.
realized that this is like a complex state of mind, whatever you want to call it, that I've had since I was a little kid. When I was very fortunate growing up, I had a very comfortable lifestyle. I didn't have to worry about food, shelter, or any of the basics or anything. I was very, very privileged in that way. But I was also brought up very frugal. My mother was always very much like, let's see what's on sale, or don't use all of this because you might need some of it later, etc. Saving things. I was a pro window shopper as a kid, which I'm kind of really glad to have that as an adult, because it can be really easy to just fall into the consumerism trap and be
Yeah.
like, I want it, I buy it. I want it, I buy it.
I'm an adult. No one can stop
But,
me.
I love wandering around shops and seeing things that inspire me and daydreaming about them, and just that gives me a sense of like joy and happiness and wonder. And it's like I don't need that in my life. It's just that moment of inspiration and etc. And I mean, sometimes I do need that in my life, but not often. So it's generally in some ways a good thing, but in other ways, it's been kind of like a self torment bad thing, like shaming myself into not using things and saving them. For example, when I was a youngin and the artist Lisa Frank was very in style. If you were a 90s kid, you probably remember Lisa Frank. It was very like all animals and unicorns, all in neon rainbow colors. And I got a Lisa Frank art kit one year, and it had a little like notebook in it. And to this day, I love notebooks. I love them. I love them.
Hashtag I love notebooks.
Yeah, and I actually use them. But back then,
Yeah.
I loved this notebook with this little neon pink leopard on it so much that I was like, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this for something because I don't want to just waste it. I don't want to just use it. I gotta save
It needs
it.
to be a very special
Right.
use.
And what happened? I never used that notebook ever, and I got older and it got lost, and I never used it. And this happened for so many things. I would love something so much and feel compelled to save it that I would never actually get to enjoy using it. And I have definitely had this carry over into adulthood in a lot of ways. It's incredible my wardrobe is as small as it is now.
It took a little bit of effort
It took
from both of us, yeah,
yes,
to do
for
that.
sure. Because being like, what if I need this pair of socks? I know it has like holes in it, but what if I have no other socks one day and I'm desperate? And it's all those what if, what ifs. And also like saving clothes. Like, oh, I love this. I should save this. I should save it for whatever, this, that, and the other thing. And like, I found myself. I'm like, why are all my t-shirts gone? I only need them like for sleeping and for physical therapy. And I found myself like mentally saving my favorite, even like everyday wear kind of shirts and stuff and dresses and blouses and all the things that I really love. And again, my wardrobe is really small. Like we have a tiny walk-in closet in our bedroom in this new apartment and we share it.
Yeah.
And all of our stuff fits, like
Yeah.
including like dresses and stuff.
Feels nice.
Yeah, it's great. I love having a tiny wardrobe of
Tiny.
things that I love. But I was like, why am I not wearing this beautiful like vintage blouse that I found in a thrift shop that makes me so happy when I wear it? Why am I not wearing it? Why am I stuck? And I was like, oh, it's this I have to save it mentality. Like, I love it, so I must not touch it. And I'm like that's so silly. I have so few clothes as it is. I should just freaking wear it because I love it. And I have been.
That's
and
great.
It's been feeling great. You know, same thing with like fancy glassware, fancy teacups or whatever. Like, don't save it. If you love it, use it. Like,
Yeah.
just use it. Don't just stare at it. Enjoy it. Get the most out of it. I used my grandmother's teacup this past week or the week before on a show, and I was like, this is great. Why don't I do this all the time using fancy teacups?
I get so nervous when you use the fancy teacups
Yeah.
that I'm going to break them.
Aw, it's okay.
But
I have the memory of my grandmama. I don't need a teacup to remember her by. Sure, it's beautiful and nice.
Yeah.
But it's not the be-all, end-all.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I do need to also work on... I do similar things, and with clothing, sometimes it's like, I'm worried I'm going to, like, spill food on it or get it dirty, and, like, I'll just ruin it. Or with glassware, like you're talking about, like, I'll break it. And, like, in the end, does it really
fine.
matter? You know? They're there to be used.
If something does happen to it, being able to, like, let it go
That's true. Yeah.
and not holding on to it so much.
Or maybe even being able to laugh about it.
Right?
Because the best response to life
is joy.
joy.
Thanks, Mark Twain, famous cat lover and author. That's my week.
I
And I
love it.
think I'm going to continue to do this and maybe even spread it outside of my wardrobe again and focus on maybe I will use more fancy teacups this week because, like, what good is it just looking at them?
Yeah.
Use them because it makes me so happy. You know, it's great. Community news. Welcome to the next segment of our podcast, Community News,
Yeah.
where we take good news from you, the listeners, give
Hey.
you a little shout out, and celebrate your general awesomeness. And I have some good stuff for you this week.
Okay, yay.
Okay, you ready, Jacob?
Yeah, I need
I did read
this.
you this first one because I freaked out when I read it and I
Oh.
was so freaking excited.
Okay.
Again, you can reach out to me on all social media platforms at Miss Mary Lou. Come join the tea party or in the YouTube comments or whatnot. It just freaking makes my day. So I have a thing from every platform actually this week.
wow.
I have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
All the place.
All the places. So we're starting with Twitter today.
Okay.
This one was submitted by Amanda Panda for her friend, our friend Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi Ruby. Hi, Amanda.
Amanda.
So this is actually from Ruby. And Ruby says, I have a trinity of good news.
Oh.
I got my green card.
Yes.
I passed my driver license test. So
Yes.
now she's a licensed driver. And she beat Amanda at more than one game, which rarely happens.
Yeah.
Amanda and Ruby are board game buddies of ours, and we just adore them. They're such generous, gracious, kind people. So this is a lot. That's a big week for you, Ruby.
Huge week.
Holy
That's so awesome.
moly, you got your green card.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. Yes. That's amazing.
That's
And it's
fantastic.
also selfish because I know that you get to stay in the States now
Yeah.
and we can have tea and have wonderful times and it's just gonna be so great. And you got your driver's license. Holy cow.
Big deal.
Yeah, big deal.
Love it.
And you also beat Amanda in more than one game.
So, like, I feel you on that too. Mary always beats me at everything.
That's not true.
It's not, but when it doesn't happen, it feels really good.
You do beat me sometimes.
It's true.
The way I'm saying that makes me
exaggerate.
sound terrible. But yeah, I'm
No, you're really good at games. You win all the time. So I feel you. But yes.
go Ruby, go.
Go, Ruby.
Go.
Congratulations.
Ruby,
congratulations.
congratulations. You are a tri-wizard. Oh, get it? Oh, wow. Oh, Harry Potter, always in life. Yeah,
Fantastic.
fantastic. And thank you, Amanda, for submitting it.
Yeah.
I'm beside myself. Clearly. Alrighty, so we are moving right over to Instagram. This is from Kim, and they
Kim.
said, "Hi, Kim. So lovely to see you. See your submission." Yeah, it's Instagram. I don't know. So they said the good news is that they have nothing to do.
Yes.
How precious a thing is that?
So great.
Yeah. It's like, oh man. We've talked a little bit in the past about riding the wave. And sometimes you're at the top of a wave and you're just busy and all the sparks are flying and you're doing all the things and the creative juices are flowing and you're going and then the wave inevitably will dip back down, and when you have nothing to do, you have all of the possibilities.
Right. You'd have
Even taking
so many
a nap.
things you could do.
Yeah,
And
right?
Time to just be yourself and do things for you or
Yeah.
not do things
Yeah,
for
I
you.
love this submission for
Yeah.
that purpose. When I have a day and I don't have anything on my calendar, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a good day. Sometimes just having the stillness and knowing that you have nothing to do can feel so freeing and magical and wonderful. And Kim, I hope you enjoy your downtime.
Yeah.
Like, do what you want with it. What a
Have
like
the
freaking magical
most fun.
possibilities.
And enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Even if it's just like sitting on the couch drinking some tea. If you want to go to a museum, go to the movies,
Read a
hang out
book.
with friends, read a book. You could do so many
Play a
things.
game.
I know.
Sleep.
Sleep. I usually choose sleep on those days
Yeah.
for at least part of my daily
It's my time.
activity.
I do what I want.
I'm gonna do what I want.
I'm gonna
So,
get what I
Kim,
want.
awesome. This is really good news.
It
Is that
is.
you have nothing to do.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm so happy for you.
Celebrate the nothingness of your schedule.
Absolutely. And again, everything comes in waves, so ride that wave, that dip of nothing for now, and just enjoy it, savor it, and you're a wizard.
You're
a
wizard.
wizard. Awesome. So, moving on to Le Facebook. This is a submission actually from my father.
No.
My dad likes to submit every week. I don't know if he knows what he's submitting for, if it's for the podcast or not, but if you're listening, Dad, hi, welcome to the podcast that we've been doing. I hope you've been enjoying it so far. I don't think either of my parents listen to this, but cool. I like hearing good things about your week. It's your turn to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
So right now, he is redoing his kitchen, and the cabinets are in. And
Nice.
all of their countertops are being like set up and put into place. My parents did retire, and they bought a little house they're turning into their little dream home. And I'm very excited for them. It looks adorable. And my dad and my mother are both designing their little kitchen and making it happen. But I also know that like when construction is going on and stuff like that, it can be kind of hard to feel settled and such. So the fact that they're making progress on that is awesome.
That's
so
fantastic.
yay, Dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So happy for you. And he and my mother are getting over their colds.
Oh, well, that's good. That is good news.
Which is also good news. And colds specifically, colds can be really miserable. And I kind of hate how a lot of people, especially in my experience, employers like to brush off colds like, well, everyone's had a cold,
'Cause they're so
it's not
common.
the common cold.
But,
so it's not an excuse to feel miserable enough to not come into the workplace where you're contagious.
In fact, no two colds are alike, so they're very uncommon.
That's very sciencey of you. I like it.
They're all different.
But anyway, colds are freaking miserable, and people should take them more seriously.
Yeah, they should. They
Yeah,
should.
because like the amount of times where I have felt like death just from a cold, and then like I call in and I'm like, I have a really bad cold, and they're like, you have a cold? Colds can stink. They can put a damper on your day. They can like make you feel really crappy.
Do you have to call out with Severus Snape on the other end of the phone? You have a cold.
You have a cold, Mr. Potter. So I'm really glad to hear that you are starting to feel better. You are on the other side, and your life is settling down a little bit more.
And that kitchen, though.
I'm very happy for you both.
Yeah, me
Thank you for submitting, Faja. You're wonderful, and if you're actually listening to a podcast, yay. Welcome to the Positivity Podcast community. But I wanted to give you a shout out this week, Dad.
Yeah.
Good news, everyone.
I have good news.
It's good news.
Yeah, this is the part of the podcast where we bring you a good news story. Something that's happy and being reported on and good in the world.
Yeah, it's important again to stay informed on the happenings of the universe, but it's not good to let it get you down and have it consume your life.
Yeah.
So,
plus there's always good news.
There's always good news.
Yeah.
Jacob,
Yeah.
What did you dig out of the depths of the interwebs for us this week? Do tell.
All right. So there are studies being done, the focus of which is on a woman who has never felt pain or anxiety or depression in her entire life. She is 71 years old.
Wow.
Her name is Jo Cameron. She has, I think, 2 children. She remembers feeling no pain during childbirth, both times.
Wow.
She says she remembers her body changing, but no pain. So she's felt little anxiety, fear, pain throughout her life, and her body heals really, really quickly.
Oh.
So, about 5 years ago, that's how this whole thing started with the study, she had a surgery on her hand, and the doctors were just completely confused about the fact that she felt no pain and needed no painkillers for it. It was a very painful surgery. And some follow-up questions revealed lots of similar situations in her past, including a hip replacement surgery she had at the age of 65, which was so necessary. It had gotten so bad because she didn't feel anything until it was like literally like rotting, like it was
Oh gosh.
absolutely needed to be. It was so severely degenerated so that it needed to be replaced. Her husband will often have to point out like blood to her for her to know that something's wrong, or if she smells burning flesh, she'll know that something's wrong.
Whoa.
So yeah, she's had a lot of cuts and burns in her life. She's more prone to things she can't feel the pain from them, but she heals very quickly. She doesn't really have any scars, and she's never really worried about pain because of that. She also recalls that her father never really needed painkillers. So anyway, here's where this gets cool.
Okay.
So this study's being done. She was referred by this doctor who did the surgery on her hand to the University College of London, and they have been studying her genetic makeup for a little while now, and they've discovered a mutation in her FAAH gene. That is short for the fatty acid amide hydrolase gene, or shortened to FAAH, and they call it in her because it's mutated the FAAH out gene, which if you say it, it's the fa out gene.
Far
Which I love.
out.
Absolutely love.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's got basically the front end of this gene is missing.
Oh.
And so that, I guess, is responsible for her lack of pain sensitivity.
Right. What about the super healing powers?
They think that that's related, but not
Oh.
quite sure. They're still studying how that
Dang.
all works. But this is leading to more research into ways to use this gene and this genetic mutation to develop new types of painkillers.
Oh.
And hopefully, the hope is non-addictive painkillers.
Hey.
Because,
The
opioid
opioid crisis. Yeah. They can help some people when they need them, but they are very, very highly addictive and not necessarily controlled, and they can ruin a lot of people's lives.
And have.
But
this, it still needs a lot of time, research, development before there's an actual product, and it may not be anything quite like what her genetic makeup looks like, but it's at least inspiring research into that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
There are definitely some downsides to her genetic mutation. For example, the obvious ones is that she gets cuts and burns a lot
and doesn't know
and isn't aware of painful situations.
Can
sometimes.
can she still feel physical sensations?
Yes.
Do you know? She can. So she can touch someone's face and feel it.
Yeah, she doesn't have insensitivity in her
It's not like she has
body.
Numbness and no feeling at all.
No, it's just the receptors in her skin and cells that would send pain signals to her brain don't do that.
Whoa.
She is also quite forgetful. She often leaves her keys places she can't find, or she'll lose her train of thought mid-sentence, she says. And she also has never really felt what others describe as an adrenaline rush, she says.
Oh.
Which, it's sort of a downside to it. But she's super happy, she says. She's never felt depressed. She's never felt anxiety. She worked as a primary school teacher for a long time, and then she also trained to work with people with severe mental disabilities. And, all across the spectrum of that is kids and people with erratic and aggressive behavior, and it just never bothered her. She's very calm. She doesn't respond to those sorts of situations negatively.
She knew herself well and was able to use her literal, born with gifts to help people.
Which she didn't know specifically what these things were, because it's only recent it was discovered. But I think it's awesome that she has looked at the world and seen the joy in things and pursued that, apart from any contrast to depression or anxiety or fears or anything else. That's still just the thing that she is actively a part of.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, she's not passive about her gifts.
Right. It's not
She's
just like that's the way things are
and that's just
and
the way
that's
my
normal
brain
for
works
me.
or whatever.
You know,
but
it's that she is like enjoying life and is happy and
right, and is actively enjoying life.
right.
Yeah, I think what an incredible woman.
Yeah.
Joe, again, you're a wizard. Thank you for like all of your openness and the work you've done in your life, and also for your openness with what's happening with science and you right now. Oh my gosh, you could help so many people.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You're a wizard. Thank you.
You're a wizard. Thank you, Joe. And I thank you, Jacob, for finding that article. I love when we find sciencey ones.
I do too. This podcast could alternatively be called You're a Wizard.
You're a wizard? You're not wrong. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's it for our podcast today, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. This was nice.
It was really nice. I feel great.
I do
I
too.
just I hope you're feeling great,
Hope we spent some
everybody.
positivity in your lives.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
All right. You want to close us out with a quote, Mary?
Do I?
Do I?
I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Yes, that one hit me
sure.
right in the feels.
Mm-hmm.
I connect with this one. I feel like I might want to get this one framed or something.
That's like when you think about someone, first reaction that I have is not, oh yeah, that's the person who said, or that's the person who did.
But it's just
it's a feeling.
It's a feeling, yeah.
Associated with the memory of that person.
Rest in peace.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you for your wisdom. I love it. And this has been a really good week.
I think so. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm feeling good.
absolutely. And we hope that you have wonderful weeks.
Yeah, and we will see you next Thursday.
Bye. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this week on the Positivity Podcast. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Mary Lou, at PositiviTeaPodcast at gmail.com, and we are also on YouTube at the Miss Mary Lou YouTube channel. Wherever you are listening to us, please give us a like, a follow, a share, and leave a nice review. We would appreciate a little bit of positivity in our lives. The logo design is by Hilda Meyer Post. The music is by my co-host Jacob Kahn. I am your co-host, Miss Mary Lou Ryan, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on Thursday.